To do the section wise filling, it is well and good. I recommend that only, and I used to do the same. And if you do the question wise, it is good, but it is more kind of time consuming. Hello everyone, this is Supriya Dubey, first year MBBS student at GMC Chandrapur, and today I'm going to talk something about OMR filling strategy. So let us begin with the video. So as we all know, there are three categories of people. First, who fill the OMR after each question. Second, who fill the section wise OMR. And third, who fill the OMR after the entire 200 questions. So at the end of the day, it is your choice how you have to fill the OMR. If you do the section wise filling, it is well and good. I recommend that only, and I used to do the same. And if you do the question wise, it is good, but it is more kind of time consuming. And if you belong to that category of people who do the paper in 2.5 hours and then you have 30 minutes left, then you can do the OMR filling at the end, because you can check the paper, you can check the mistakes which you have done, and then you can correct it, you can change some of the answers, and then you can fill the OMR. But I suggest this technique only if you complete the paper in 2.5 hours. But still, if you fill the 200 questions one by one, you have to take the caution. Make sure you don't commit any kind of mistakes. So let me first of all discuss some of the tips. Let me tell you something about me. I used to do the section wise filling. What I used to do, first of all, I used to attempt the biology part, that is botany and zoology, and then I used to fill the entire OMR of 90 questions, and then I used to do the chemistry, then physics, and then again the 90 questions. That is, I used to split the OMR in 50-50. You can do the section wise filling, that is 45. You did the paper, you did the 45 questions, and then you fill the OMR, and then the next 45, and then OMR, and like that. This thing you can also follow. This is also a kind of technique where there are less chances of making mistakes. So I will recommend fill section wise, where it is 45 or 90 questions together. 200 questions is not recommended, because in the first 100 questions you have a lot of focus. In the filling of first 100 questions there are no distraction, but when you are at the 158 question, 168 question, there are chances of committing mistakes, because at some point you are tired. There are more chances of losing focus and making mistakes. That's why I'm repeating this again and again. Try section wise filling or do the 90 questions. Go for 200 questions only if you complete the paper within 2.5 hours, and then you have half an hour completely left, and then you can do very slowly without making any mistake. Moving towards the next thing, that is spare at least 20 minutes for OMR filling. Look, if you fill the OMR very fast, you can finish one section within 5 minutes, but still I suggest to spare at least 20 minutes for OMR filling. If you keep a target of 20, then you will get at least 18 to 15 minutes, and at least I guess 18 minutes are required. Less than that, it's not recommended. There are chances of making mistakes, and that is not feasible. We don't have to make mistakes after thinking, after solving, after investing more than a minute in a single question. You cannot make that mark the wrong OMR or mark that question wrong. Thirdly, mark the answer properly. What some people do is, when they attempt the paper, they just dot it, or sometimes they do just a small tick, but this is not recommended. You have to do a very big tick, because if that is visible for you at the time of OMR filling, if that tick mark is pretty good, it is visible, there are less chances of making mistakes. So make a big tick. Like, wait, I'll show you. I guess I have not attached a question paper, so if I had a question paper I would have shown you. But let us imagine we have a question paper in front of us. This is the first question, and besides this are the 4 options. Instead of doing a small tick like this, you have to do a big tick, okay, instead of. So that will help you not making any kind of mistake. Moving ahead towards the next thing, solve the mock test within 180 minutes, that is 3 hours. Now, right now many of you would be giving small tests, that is a test consisting of 50 questions or 30 questions, and many of you would be giving entire 200 questions. Right now it is not 200, it is 180. Yeah, the paper pattern has changed entirely. Section B has been removed. There are only 180 questions and 180 minutes, so we have to try attempting the paper within 3 hours only. Let me tell you, where this year and this thing, that is 200 question thing, it has started from the COVID-19, from that era, and at that time we used to have 3 hours 20 minutes, and in my time also we had 3 hours 20 minutes, but still while solving the OMR, while solving the mock test, we used to get only 3 hours in the last 1 month. Yeah, because anything can happen at the exam hall. The examiner can take your paper 5 minutes before, or he can give you the question paper 5 minutes or 10 minutes late. Anything can happen. So at least you should have a practice of completing the paper within 3 hours. But right now, if it is only 3 hours, I'll suggest you to finish the paper at least 2 hours 50 minutes. Like, put a target of completing the paper within 2.5 hours, 20 minutes for OMR, and then last 10 minutes, so that even if you have the time constraint, you can manage it. And yeah, let me tell you, like, don't count at 10 minutes also, okay, because that time you have to give for thumb impression, for the signatures. Like, the invigilator comes again and again, he disturbs us. Yeah, that's the reality. So we have to actually it is a part of the process, so we have to do it. So that's why I'm telling you, many people don't know, especially for freshers don't know. They assume, they have a small presumption in their mind that yeah, I have 3 hours, I will do the paper within 2.5 hours, and then I'll fill the OMR within 20 minutes. But this is not like that. Keep 10 minutes away. Subtract that 10-minute time block from the 3 hour. Keep only 2 hours and 50 minutes in your mind. You have to finish the paper within 2 hours and 50 minutes. Practice OMR filling even if you give small tests. Like if you attempt the paper of 30 questions or 50 questions, or if you attempt the paper consisting of only one subject, then fill the OMR. Start filling the OMR, do the practice, so that you will not commit any kind of mistakes. So this is the sample OMR. If you are a fresher, you should know how the OMR looks. Here is the roll number. Here is the roll number. First of all, you have to fill the digits, and then after that you have to fill the circles also, bubbles, then the test booklet number, and then the test booklet code. Here you don't have to fill anything. Then the signature and the time which you got when you get the question paper. Then your candidate's name in running handwriting. Here it is, running handwriting. Then the mother's name, father's name, your thumb impression. So you can see the entire thing is going to take 10 minutes. So that's why I was telling, consider that you have only 2 hours 50 minutes, not 10 minutes, because you have to give those 10 minutes to all these things. And this is the old OMR. That's why it has the question in the format of 35 and 15. Right now it is 180 questions, so you will be having continuously 45 questions. There are no options. You have to attempt entire question. You have to attempt the entire question paper. If you leave the question, you won't get any kind of marks. So the next thing is mistakes to avoid. What mistakes should we avoid while filling the OMR? This is the most important thing. Like before, I also did not had any kind of idea like how to fill the OMR. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and then I got the idea, and then I started reducing the OMR mistakes, and till the end of the January, February, there was around 100% accuracy in filling the OMR. Like I did not used to commit OMR mistakes at least. So the first thing is how you have to fill the OMR. Let me take the black color. Suppose this is a question and these are the 4 bubbles you have. These are the 4 bubbles. So you have to fill, let me tell you. First make the dot and then cover, right, going from the border till the center. If you'll make the dot, you'll get to know that yeah, you have to fill that question, and then go for circling that entire question. Sometimes what happens is, when you don't put that dot, you directly fill, there are chances of putting or keeping your pen on the wrong bubble. So if you follow this thing, that is first of all putting the dot, and then at some corner of your mind you will get to know that yeah, I have to fill this, and then start filling the OMR from outer border till the center, that is circumferentially, that is from the circumference till the center. This is how you have to do and fill the OMR completely. And if you do this, there are less chances of crossing the circle. So this is the way. Instead of filling like this, you have to do like this. This was the first thing. This is about the technique. The second thing is, suppose by chance if you fill 2 bubbles, like suppose you have already filled this one and by chance you fill this 2, you don't have to do this thing. If you do 2 bubbles, none of them will be considered. They'll consider that you are trying to manipulate the OMR sheet. So don't try filling 2 OMRs, just do the one. Don't try new smart things in the OMR and on the NEET day. Just fill only single bubble. This was the second thing. And the third thing, suppose you don't have much of the time left. Suppose there are only 5 minutes and you have like 20 to 25 OMRs left. So at that time, this tip is only recommended if you have time constraint. So at that time, you can follow this thing. That is, you can go obliquely. You can fill like this, like this. So what will happen? The OMR detector, it will at least detect that you have filled the bubble. Instead of leaving the bubble, instead of leaving those questions, because each question carries 4 marks. If you have solved the question, you have put your time. If you have any kind of time constraint, then only I am recommending this strategy, that you go obliquely instead of leaving the entire bubbles of 10 to 15 or 25 questions, because there are some friends, I have seen people that you have solved the question paper but they have left the OMR filling, because OMR is the most important thing. They'll not check your question paper, they'll check the OMR answer sheet, and if you will at least attempt filling that, there are chances they'll get or they will detect that you have filled. So there are chances. Instead of leaving the entire bubbles, I'm recommending you to follow this thing. And the fourth thing, this thing not much of the people know. Suppose you are filling the sequence right from 20 question to the 40th question. You have filled from 20 to 30 and you have you have circled the wrong question of the 31. So suppose this is the 31st question, you have circled it wrongly. So what you can do is, right now you have lost your 4 marks and there is -1 also. I have not actually used this strategy and I am not recommending. I knew this thing because this is the fact, this is a written fact. I just want to let you people know, at the end of the day it is your decision if you want to follow it or not. So what you can do is, you can put or insert your pen inside the OMR and you can just remove that small circle of the paper, because the OMR detector, it detects the ink, it detects the ink of the pen. It will not detect, if there is no paper, it will not detect anything. So at least you can save your -1 mark. Instead of -5, that will be only 4, not -1. So you can save this thing. I got to know about the ink detecting part of the OMR, so that's why I wanted to let you people know. At the end of the day, it is your choice. I'm not recommending this, but you should know, like, if you want to save your -1 mark, if you want to save your 1 mark, you can do it. So yeah, that's all for today. Right now only 93 days are left for NEET. Gear up, study hard, stay hydrated, stay motivated. I know this is a tough time, but you have to keep going. I know right now there is a lot of ups and downs of mock scores when you attempt the paper. Like, there are 50 to 60 marks up and down. You have to accept all those things. Still you have to work hard, because at the end of the day you are going to make your future. So yeah, that's it for the day. You can connect with me. These are my Instagram IDs if you have any kind of doubt. And this is the Telegram channel which I have made. I have uploaded all my NEET notes. Its ID is Supriya Dubey NEET. And yeah, lastly, subscribe to my channel. It takes a work, power, energy to make such videos. Until I see you soon, let's hustle hard.